The sun was setting over the quiet suburban street, casting long shadows across the freshly mowed lawns. In front of a massive luxury mansion, a pristine black Rolls-Royce sat, its engine humming in an ominous, off-beat rhythm. Inside, the wealthy businessman, Mr. Thomas King, sat in the driver's seat, adjusting his expensive sunglasses as he looked at the crowd of workers gathered before him. He was used to making people bend to his will, to using money as a tool to control those around him. But this time, it was going to be different. Standing among the workers was Alex, a young boy with a quiet determination in his eyes. He was the son of the gardener, a man who had been working for Mr. King for years. The gardener, whose name was Frank, had always been an honest, humble man, never expecting much but willing to work hard for what he had. However, his son, Alex, was different. Alex had grown up learning the value of mechanics and engines from his father. Even though his father worked the land, Alex's true passion was fixing things, specifically cars. As the sun set, Mr. King threw out a challenge, something meant to humiliate the boy and entertain himself in the process. "All right, kid," he said with a grin, his voice dripping with arrogance. "I'll give your father $10 million if you can fix this car. But if you fail, I'll make sure you're the joke of the day. Got it?" The challenge was absurd and everyone in the garden knew it. A 9-year-old fixing a high-end million-dollar car? Impossible. But Alex didn't back down. His eyes met his father's, and for a moment, they both knew what was at stake. This wasn't just about money. It was about proving that even someone from a humble background could rise above expectations and silence those who thought they were superior. As Alex knelt down in front of the engine, the millionaire leaned back in his luxurious seat, arms crossed, watching the boy with a smirk on his face. The challenge had been set, and Alex knew that all eyes were on him. His father stood silently behind him, his face a mixture of concern and pride. Frank knew the odds were stacked against them, but he had taught his son the value of hard work and the importance of never giving up, no matter how impossible the task seemed. Alex's hands shook as he pulled out the tools his father had passed down to him. Each tool was a symbol of the many lessons he had learned from his father: how to tighten bolts, identify faulty connections, and repair even the smallest parts of machinery. But this car, this magnificent machine, was something entirely different. It was a machine built to perfection, or so it seemed. Nothing was ever perfect, Alex knew. There was always something that could go wrong, something that could break, no matter how expensive or high-end the machine. As Alex twisted the wrench, the millionaire chuckled from the sidelines, clearly enjoying the spectacle. "You know, kid, even the best mechanics in the world couldn't fix this thing. You're just wasting your time." But Alex wasn't listening to him. He didn't care about the millionaire's mockery. His focus was entirely on the engine. Every turn of the wrench, every adjustment he made, was a step toward proving that he could succeed, despite the odds. As the minutes ticked by, Alex's confidence began to waver. The engine remained stubborn, refusing to start, despite all his efforts. His small hands were coated in grease, and the sweat from his brow mixed with the oil on his skin. But Alex didn't stop. He had always watched his father work with machines, always admired his patience, his knowledge, and his ability to repair even the most broken things. Alex was determined to prove that he could do the same. Behind him, Frank stood with a lump in his throat. He wanted to intervene, wanted to step in and fix things for his son, but he knew this moment wasn't about winning or losing. It was about something bigger, something that could change their lives. He had taught Alex everything he knew about engines and machines, but now it was time for his son to show the world what he could do. The millionaire, growing impatient, tapped his foot and mocked Alex once again. "Come on, kid. How long is this going to take? My patience isn't free, you know. Are you really going to waste my time on this?" The words hit Alex like a slap to the face. His fingers trembled, his heart raced. The pressure was building, and he didn't know how much longer he could keep going. But just as he was about to give up, something inside him clicked. His father had always told him that the hardest challenges were the ones worth taking on. Alex's determination flared, and he straightened his back. "I can do this," he whispered to himself. "I can do this for Dad." With a renewed sense of purpose, Alex dove back into the car's engine, his hands moving faster, more confidently now. He could feel the eyes of everyone on him, but none of that mattered anymore. It wasn't about them. It was about proving that he could do something that no one thought possible. The millionaire watched, no longer amused, but intrigued. Could this kid actually fix the car? Would he succeed where so many had failed? Alex worked tirelessly, moving from one part of the engine to the next. His hands were shaking, his nerves on edge. But he kept going. He wasn't just fixing a car, he was fixing his future, his family's future. And most importantly, he was proving that he could do something extraordinary, something that no one thought was possible. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, Alex adjusted one final piece, tightened a bolt, and turned the key. The engine made a low, hesitant sound, and then it roared to life. The millionaire's jaw dropped. For a moment, there was complete silence. The Rolls-Royce, the car that had seemed impossible to repair, was alive. Alex stood there, breathless, as the engine purred beneath his hands. His heart pounded in his chest, a mixture of excitement, disbelief, and pride. He had done it. He had fixed the car. For a moment, the millionaire was silent, stunned. Then, a slow clap began to echo through the air. "Well, well," Mr. King said, clearly impressed but trying to hide it. "I'll admit, kid, I didn't think you had it in you. But you did it. And you know what? I keep my promises." He handed over a contract to Frank, who was speechless. $10 million, just like that. But more than the money, it was the respect, the acknowledgement of their worth that mattered. Frank's eyes filled with tears as he embraced his son. This wasn't just a win for them. It was a moment of transformation, a moment where they proved that hard work, knowledge, and determination could defy even the most impossible odds. As Frank looked at his son, he smiled through his tears. "You did it, Alex. You really did it." The millionaire, once so arrogant, nodded in respect. "You earned this, kid. Don't ever let anyone tell you you can't do something." And as Alex and his father walked away from the mansion, their lives were forever changed, not just by the money, but by the lesson they had learned. No matter who you are, where you come from, or how, if you loved this story of determination and triumph, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And let us know in the comments, what's the hardest challenge you've ever faced, and how did you overcome it?